But in a laundromat, I can't touch that. You know, I could start at 20 bucks a square foot, but I can't do what's, you know, almost.
Yeah, so I don't know if your partner told you, but I do have someone who's going to be signing a lease for that amount.
Oh, good.
Hopefully
okay.
by the end of the week.
All right. If you don't get that, if that doesn't happen for you, he did not mention that. I'm not here to get into bidding wars. I don't need to do that.
Hello, Preferred.
Anthony.
Yes.
Anthony, my name's Danny. You have been talking in person with my partner, Addie, in reference to the
yes.
Laundromat over there. How you doing, buddy? We're interested in talking terms if the, you know, electricity has been taken care of. I've been doing laundries for 20 plus years. We want to renew it, put some new equipment in. Obviously, we're interested because there's a leg up for us as the gas, water, electric is in place. Hopefully, without too much hassle, we can get this place operating and make a few bucks.
No, everything's ready to go. As far as like the, you know, gas, electric, and water. Water's all good. You just have to start a new corporation, you know, for the gas.
Yeah,
and
I've done this
electric.
36
They'll put it right on
times
for you. Yeah.
If, again, for me, the big deal, Anthony, I want to make sure that the rent is commensurate and appropriate. I'm looking for a 15-year term. I'm going to have to spend well over 500 grand on equipment here. And, you know, I don't want to be a pain in your neck. I want to pay the rent on time every time. And in order to do that, I need to bring the consumer back. They've found another laundromat, obviously. They don't just pile this stuff up in the closet. At the end of the day, if we can negotiate a good long-term lease, shake hands, we'll get you a check and start ordering equipment. What's the square footage and what would your ask be?
All right.
So the square footage is about, I think, 3,800 square feet. And we were looking for a triple net, 15 years, 5,000 a month, and then 30% of the taxes comes out to about 1,200 a month. So you'd be like 6,200 a month all in.
I can't start at that. I can finish term at that, but understand, I'm very different than, I don't know if you had this place operating when you had a previous tenant with that old equipment. I'm not going to try to run it the way it is. So my debt service is going to be close to 8,000 or 9,000 on the equipment. I drag that debt service through the whole lease. I'm not looking to pay it off at some point. It's like having an Uber with an old car. You know, nobody wants that ride. It's more of a white glove. So at 7 years, we retool the stores. A good store is going to beat the equipment up and churn it out. You know, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings, but in that area of Staten Island, I'm sure you could get that rent if it was a CVS Pharmacy or a Duane Reade. But in a laundromat, I can't touch that. You know, I could start at 20 bucks a square foot, but I can't do what's, you know, almost.
So I don't know if your partner told you, but I do have someone who's going to be signing a lease for that amount.
Oh, good.
Hopefully by the end of the week.
All right. If you don't get that, if that doesn't happen for you, he did not mention that. I'm not here to get into bidding wars. I don't need to do that.
Know your limitations. You are a moron.
If that doesn't work out for you, end of the week, end of the month, save my phone number. You're looking at my cell phone. Danny D'Angelo, give me a call.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Anthony.
You got it.
First time I heard it was not when you told me, but when he did. So that's, you know, that's how you play the game. He interrupts me to tell me he's got another guy, and he expects me to say, oh, well, then in that case, let me pay that. I don't fall for that.
How did that make you feel?
It made me physically sick.
Yeah, he was telling me on the phone, hey, I already have someone. If you're going to outbid him, fine. I'm like, nah, screw you. I'm like, don't talk to me about any of this. Do not talk to me about any of this. My partner will call you.
That's fine. You know, note what he said. He's got a week. So at the end of the day, I believe everybody that says that. I know that it's a negotiating technique, but the only way that they cut their own throat is if they say, well, I got another guy, and I'm dumb enough to say, oh, then what do you want me to do? And I don't do that.
I've got culture coming out of my ass.
Yeah.
So if I truly believe them, it's much easier for me to say, oh, all right, I didn't know you had somebody else. Good luck. Goodbye. You got my number. Not even going to send him an email.
Yeah.
So done.
Yep.
I tell him what we do and how we do it, and all that is true. So next move is up to him.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.